Bonjour, je suis le grand musique.
Je suis la jeune fille.
Yes,
What is
that's
this
French
for?
they're
Like
speaking.
in the
You know,
middle
these
of it?
children aren't
Yeah, in the middle, we're just gonna put it in there like, "Hey, thanks for listening. Don't forget."
We're not talking like that.
Okay.
I refuse to make it sound like a commercial.
Yeah,
You just got to tell everyone that they need to follow us on social media at Pick Freaks on TikTok and Instagram, and to give us 5-star rating. You can roast us, but don't give us less than 5 stars. That's
Yeah.
all we have to say.
So just say that.
Is there
Kevin,
any?
go.
Yeah, if you're listening
Just cut
now,
what I said and put it on there. Who cares?
Muzzy now comes with 4 videos, 2 audios, a script book, parent's guide, a new exciting CD-ROM, plus this free bonus with your paid order.
I assumed that it was the actual Saturday night 50th was Saturday night. It was Sunday.
They made that mistake. I heard a lot of people say that.
Well, it's really stupid. That's like that's a very dumb move.
Yeah, I agree.
Our biggest one in 50 years of being in business. We put it on a Sunday.
Yeah, they're doing something wrong. I can't believe they're still in business.
Did you watch the Homecoming musical thing, Kevin?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, it was great. It felt like, I don't know, I just like seeing the crowd, celebrities in the crowd.
No, it was a perfect event. Like, it was just like the musical acts they chose, they didn't like leave them on there too long. So like,
Yeah.
even if it was somebody you didn't really particularly care for, like, I'm trying to think, the B-52s, who even that was entertaining.
Yeah.
But at least they weren't like forcing them on us.
They,
And then the comedy in between was pretty good too. I liked that.
I was surprised they had the guy from Arcade Fire because he was canceled for being a essayer.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he seemed really happy to be on TV too.
Yeah,
So
he
that's
did.
probably
That was
why.
like his first big moment back.
Did you see
So-
James Franco on there?
I didn't see the last hour, so was that like in the last
I think
hour?
they buried him in the last hour. They finally
Okay.
cut to him. I was really surprised to see him. But no, that's the reason I liked it 2 times, because that Arcade Fire guy was singing, and a few other people did covers, and it really felt like watching like celebrities do karaoke. It was pretty sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that they did covers, not like play their own stuff. Like, did you like the Post Malone Nirvana?
Yeah. Oh, and you should probably go watch that. If there was one like musical moment from the show to watch, would just be Post Malone serving as Kurt Cobain.
Yeah,
It-
I heard people really liked that.
It just made me
Yeah.
realize why he's such a star, because he just has the stage presence. It's like undeniable.
What's with his what's that thing he does with his voice though?
Let's
It's
hear
like,
it.
when he's singing. Have you heard that?
Do it one more time.
He's got like vibrato.
Like well, how do I sing smell it? Smells like Teen Spirit.
Down.
Oh my god, that is so loud. That is so loud.
I thought it was really good.
He does that with his voice. It's like, is it a
yeah.
country thing?
No, I think it's just like some people have like, in order to reach the deepest pits of your vocals, you have to like make it like a gut thing, and it's like, like otherwise you're singing nasally. What do I know about singing? But leading up to the homecoming concert was good, and I don't want to talk about it too long because you didn't see any of this.
I plan on watching it. I plan on watching that and the 50th.
Cool.
That's 6 hours.
So we won't spoil too much for you. But
Is it
it's
6 hours?
It's 3 hours. each.
Yeah.
Never
And
mind.
there's the red carpet for an hour.
It
You
was
can
like my
watch that.
whole weekend. It was seriously felt like SNL was my entire weekend.
Did you watch Saturday? They had the original episode. Did you
I
watch
did.
that?
It was awesome. It was seriously
The original episode was good.
Well, no, I mean, it was. You had to watch it with the lens of like you're watching something from 1975, and I couldn't believe. And actually, what made it a little bit better was I watched some of that movie a few weeks ago. That Saturday Night Live movie that like dramatized the whole first episode. So I kind of knew a little bit about the background, and then to see all the sketches and musical performances like was so cool. And there was one, and then I turned it off. Like I didn't watch the whole thing, but there was one musical performance that like had me in tears, and now it's like my new favorite song. Somebody named Janice Ian. She sang like da, 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 17. Da, da. Have you ever heard that song?
No.
I don't know.
Oh, it like seriously like had me in tears. It's such a beautiful song.
I mean, but the way you sang it sounded beautiful. So I think.
thank you. Yeah, I'm sure I did it better.
Owen
yeah.
has a tear right now.
It was But then, yeah, I watched the whole thing, Dennis, the whole red carpet, and then George actually came over and watched with us.
Oh, nice.
That's cute.
Till the end?
He stayed for a good chunk of it. It kind of felt like
Okay.
watching the Super Bowl. We had snacks. I gave him a couple of LaCroix. We had a
What
great
kind of
night.
snacks
Honestly,
did
more
you have?
enjoyable than the Super Bowl.
I would say
watching
so.
that.
It was at least more unique. My problem was I just have such a tick where, like, every time I saw a celebrity, I wanted to be the first to point it out, and everybody
Oh,
wanted to kill
God.
me by the end. I know.
Yeah.
It's a tick, though. It's a tick.
Wait,
It's
you
not-
had to point out celebrity. That isn't the whole thing just celebrities.
Yeah.
I know, and I always want to point out the one that nobody else, the ones that, like, I'm thinking in the back of their mind, they're like, "Why? Who's this person?" I want to be like, "Oh, that's Lake Bell. Lake Bell's right there."
Yeah.
So yeah, Megan at one point was like,
Very impressive. Very impressive. You know all these people.
I know. Megan at one point's like, "You get 20 more, okay? So use them wisely."
20
Wait.
more is so much.
Speaking of random celebrities, there's one that you guys both know. It's Andy Samberg's wife. She was there. Who sings?
Joanna Newsom.
Yeah, that one song.
We're getting
Yeah.
a lot of singing on this pod. Oh, also, Megan and George are trashing our pod. Megan now calls it just the Rage Bait pod.
That is true because my brother left a comment on an Instagram post the other week, and I'm like, it's been stuck in the back of my mind. He's like, do you guys like anything?
We do. We just clip the stuff we don't like, which is the problem. Because we do. We
I
praise.
guess we're talking about how we like this SNL.
Yeah, we just praise like two things. It's just it's not as juicy to hear us talk about something we like,
yeah.
or we haven't even tried it, to be honest.
Yeah, we talk about like most of the things are stuff we like, but I don't know. You know what? The thing that really pissed me off is Kevin, your new post. Normally Dennis is in the comments because he's getting offended and he wants to go after everyone. This was the first post where I'm like, this is unnecessary. People are being mean. We weren't calling anyone stupid or that they looked bad. You strictly said that he looks like he's wearing platform shoes and then people are calling us gay and like dumb. I'm like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with all you guys? All he said is that it looks like he's wearing fucking platform shoes. Like, let it go. Just say, oh, yeah, maybe he is.
I know, like it was certainly a little bit negative because it comes in hot with you saying that he's a little bit old to be like wearing flared jeans, like which is a recently younger person thing. But it's just like we weren't really taking him down that hard. It's just people are so defensive that they jump. I think that was the first time we've been called gay, and we've been called ugly before, but not gay.
Yeah. Well, we were called ugly in the other comment that was on that post. It was like,
oh, these guys should be. These guys really talking? You're like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like, we can say whatever we want.
And it has almost as many likes as our actual video.
yeah.
I know.
I love it though. It's funny. Shit. What were we talking about before that?
SNL 50. What was your favorite sketch?
Oh, yeah. So SNL 50. Shit, I got completely derailed. I watched the whole lead up to it, which is really kind of underwhelming because it was just a bunch of like the red carpet for like an Oscars is a little bit more interesting people. But I thought it started really weird, Dennis. Did you think like it was weird to open it with like a slow pulse? Oh no, they played your fucking song.
Yeah,
from
that's my
Leftovers.
favorite song.
You're
Homeward Bound.
I know. Okay, you're right.
Yeah.
Boom.
I did see a funny X post.
Anytime this has to say X, he like
He's got like
so
he's embarrassed that he's on it. And he has to like
expose.
It's all satire when he talks about
tweet. It said Paul Simon, the one chance he had to be taller than someone was Sabrina Carpenter, and he still was shorter. He's like 5'2", I think.
But just the reason I mentioned that is because I thought it was a really weird choice, but I think it was like just a level set. Like before you go into a live comedy program, you don't want everybody like fired up right away. You want to like get the baseline as low as you can and then get them ready for laughter. I think there's a lot of smart moves like that you don't realize. You're like, this sucks, but they're like kind of manipulating you to like, oh, I'm bored. Oh shit, now I'm ready to laugh.
I think it's more. Yeah, I agree with that. And if they started with a big like musical number and it was like a big thing, it just feels like you're too high to start. You kind of got to ramp up to it. And I do know Lorne Michaels' favorite artist is Paul Simon. That's why he's always on.
Okay. I'm trying to remember what other sketches there were. The one that stood out to me the most, I don't want to ruin this for you, Owen, but
I haven't been listening. I've been trying to find something with the other internet's password, so you guys can keep
cool. Yeah. Take your time because I have a lot to say about this. Dennis, for me, the 3 peaks were the Weekend Update. I thought was great when they brought on. I completely forgot about the like Friends of, because they've done that with like Kim Jong Un before. The Friends of Lorne Michaels.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I
Yeah.
forgot.
Where
I
they
forgot
kinda
that was a
whisper.
recurring. But yeah, where they
Yeah.
like say something really nice about him, and then are just like kind of like.
Yeah.
It really. It's like It's something you've heard like 1,000 times, and you
Yeah.
don't really realize somebody's doing. That was really good, and then I thought it opened really strong with Will Ferrell. That one was.
Oh, with the hands. I'm not a big
Yeah,
fan of
you're
that
right.
one.
Maybe it was the next one that I liked because I remember liking it really.
I think the 2 I thought were my favorite were, which I'm usually not a big fan of this actress, Kate McKinnon.
Oh,
with
that
the,
one.
Yeah, with Woody Harrelson.
The
That one
Aaron,
was
I think
pretty...
it's called like the Aaron Rafferty sketch or something. But yeah, they brought on Meryl Streep to.
Meryl Streep was not that good. I think she wasn't reading her lines. She like was trying to like remember them. Didn't sound good.
Also, yeah, my dad, his comment was, these old people they can't read the cue cards anymore.
Yeah,
Which is a really good point. They probably can't.
Oh yeah, you're right. Maybe she can't see that far.
Yeah,
That
so
little
it's
bitch.
the older woman from the sketch. You got to say it.
Yeah, she can't read the cue cards.
That was definitely another.
Flip it and the pod right there.
What was your other sketch that you liked?
I like the jail one.
That was was my peak moment. Just to have Eddie Murphy there and Will Ferrell, that was so funny.
And the fact that they're describing movies that they were in.
No, there was another. Megan went to bed early, and I continued watching. And when Will Ferrell comes out and is like, "It's Elf. Let's just get that over with."
Yeah.
And then later he's like, "Oh yeah, you think I'm gonna be here talking about Buddy the Elf? I'm gonna talk about getting elfed in the butt, G." And I cackled so loud that Megan's like, "Why did you just scream? Are you okay?" Because she was in bed.
What the one thing that was kind of annoying too was they had like Pedro Pascal in like 2 different sketches.
Oh,
I don't understand why they had some people in multiple sketches. I'd rather see like a different cast member in each one. Like get Rob Schneider. I saw Chris Kattan there. That would have been awesome to see him in a sketch. Some of the other people.
I listened to this kind of Hollywood Insider podcast, and I think I talked about this recently, but like they were very selective about who they invited to this thing. So like the fact that Chris Kattan even got invited is kind of a stretch. And then like they made a point of like, we can't just have celebrities on that are like vintage. Like we need the hottest celebrities now. So they're like, they need John Hamm, they need Pedro Pascal. Like they're still like treating this thing as if like we can't just, it's not just fan service. We need younger viewers,
I guess
relevant
that makes
viewers.
sense. Yeah.
So you need the hottest people on there.
It's a pretty big deal. SNL. Lisa's mom is really into it, and she said that I think she probably was in high school in the early '80s.
Mm-hmm.
She said they would be out at the bars, and everyone would be like, "I got to go home, got to go watch SNL." Like it was a huge deal back then.
I still do that because it just feels like a sporting event to me every night. I care about who the cast is. Like I want to see who gets who performs well, who gets their sketches on. So it scratches both those itches for me.
Who's your favorite current cast member right now? And then your favorite all-time cast member?
Ah, shit. Okay. And how's your internet thing going? Because we're talking for a while.
I think my internet's pretty good.
Yeah, I think you're fine.
now,
Yeah, I
so
think you're
I
fine.
need to get the other one, but
Okay, well, Dennis, I just want to give 2 other notes on the 50th. Yes. One that really stood out to me was that they did that Chad sketch with Pete Davidson. Where
Yeah.
it wasn't like funny or anything, but it was very emotional. But also, for the past 6 months, I've been calling my brother Matt Chad because every time when you talk to him, all he does is okay, sick, okay.
Is that a recurring sketch?
Yeah, that they used to do that a lot when he was on.
Oh,
The
okay.
bit was always like him in like a really intense situation, but he'd be like, okay. And it reminds me so much of Matt.
Yeah.
I've been calling him Chad, so I was pumped to see Chad get on there. And then I'm looking. Oh, and then I think the other highlight for me was because I just recently saw Les Mis. They did that musical sketch, and Will Forte was the best Jean Valjean I've seen yet. And I saw it now live. I saw Hugh Jackman, and Will Forte's commitment to that Jean Valjean, and Jason Sudeikis was really good as the what's that guy's name? Can you do an impression, Dennis? I'd love to hear it.
I can't do an impression because I don't really know who that is, but I've seen the movie 10 years ago
The
once.
Gerard Butler character.
Oh,
is-
okay.
Yeah.
But I agree, Will Forte, he's the best, like, serious looking face. He's
Yeah.
like really into it.
That's what makes it so great, like his commitment. But my favorite cast member is Andy Samberg all time.
Okay.
It's just, yeah, I would say if I had like a darker, my next two would be like David Spade, like just because that guy still makes me laugh.
Yeah.
And then I feel like it's Will Forte.
I was gonna say I think Will Forte is my favorite. Just I feel like every sketch that guy was hilarious.
And he still he's still relevant. Like you still
Yeah.
see him, like he's not just like some like Chris Kattan, as you mentioned, who was really good, or Dana Carvey, who surprisingly wasn't at that yesterday.
Yeah, I was
But-
surprised.
Where they are like even more recently, like a Kate McKinnon, like if she's in a movie, she's distracting. Like she was in that Barbie movie, it's funny, but like that's the only role she can play because she's so over the top.
Yeah.
So I love like
What's
when
a Will Forte movie that he's not over the top, or like I guess he can play a more subtle character.
Yeah, he was in an Oscar nominated movie, Nebraska.
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 And then
that was a
what
great
was
movie.
that one TV show, Last Man Alive? That wasn't so over the top,
Mhm.
was it?
No, he's got range. I think he takes it. Like, he can take it all the way to MacGruber levels.
Yeah.
But my favorite current cast. No. Let's hear your favorite. You said Will Forte, Dennis.
Yeah.
Oh, and do you have one?
Favorite of all time?
Yeah.
Ah, God, probably Will Forte as well, or Andy Samberg. So real original picks.
You famously hate Will Ferrell, right?
No, I just don't think. I think it's just too overdone. That he seems to play the same character a lot, but also has a lot of range.
If you rewatch this, or if you watch this 50th, it made me kind of reappreciate him, just like how much stage presence he has.
Okay, I figured it out. So too many people have quoted Anchorman our entire life, and they quoted the exact. And anyone that says like Rich Mahogany, I want to fucking blow my brains out
Yeah.
when people think that they're funny like that. So
Oh, and
I think that is what ruined Will Ferrell for me.
If I had to guess your favorite, Owen, I think it would be Fred Armisen, just because he's like a huge music guy and kind
I
of.
do like Fred Armisen. He
Yeah.
played
Yeah, I like him
For
too.
the B-52s, I heard he was playing the drums, wasn't he?
Yeah, he just has a cool presence too. I could see him being kind of
What
he
was
gets
the
to,
one
like
sketch
him?
he used to do where he like drum and then he go, Dios mío.
Adios mio.
I love
fuck,
that
that
one.
was like a favorite talk show. Oh, that is a good one.
Ooh,
Uh,
I also used to love Brian Fellows.
Oh, Tracy
Who's-
Morgan.
Tracy Morgan, Brian Fellows. I used to love that.
I'm
growing
Brian
up.
Fells.
I saw Tracy Morgan at a hospital.
Oh, Eddie Murphy.
Oh, he's great.
He surprised me. He was good, especially
and
as
he looks
Tracy
good,
Morgan.
and he still seems like
Yeah.
he's so funny as Tracy Morgan.
I guess
Uh,
you know how they did the 40th like 10 years ago, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
That was his first time back because he was pissed at SNL for a while because David Spade
Yeah.
famously said during Weekend Update, which they didn't mention him on as the top Weekend Update guy. Eddie Murphy, is it Eddie Murray or Eddie Murphy?
Murphy.
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie
Look.
Murray. Isn't Eddie Murray the one that
I think he's
Dave
a baseball
Chappelle.
player.
I was thinking it was
Oh.
the Dave Chappelle fucking up his couch.
Charlie
oh no,
Murphy?
Charlie Murphy.
Okay, let me
Sorry.
get back to Dennis's
All right.
original question. My favorite current cast member is the one that Owen hates the most because he looks weird. Andrew Dismukes. He cracks me
one's
up.
that?
Everything he's
I
in.
don't think he's
just
funny.
the weird, big-eared guy. He's always in the. You know how this Domingo sketch they keep redoing.
Oh, is he Domingo?
That's the guy Marcelo Hernandez, the guy who I don't particularly like,
Oh, he's the
and
husband.
the big-eared, goofy husband guy.
Yeah.
Every sketch he's had a couple really good ones. Like Dennis, I don't know if you ever watched the one where he just was. It was 1950s, and he was in an interracial couple, and they were there to like just try to get their parents on board with their relationship. And he's like, "I wrote a song for it, and I want you guys to hear it." And he starts singing Trains. Hey, soul sister, Mister, and he just goes on too long, and it's the best. But my second favorite, or maybe first favorite, is Sarah Sherman. 'Cause
Really?
she everything she's in, she cracks me up.
I liked her her impression of was it Mike Bloomberg?
Oh yeah,
And John Mulaney's like, great impression. That was good.
yeah. No, I just love when people like aren't too cool for school, and she is just very buys into whatever stupid thing they have her do. It's great.
That Miguel character, that guy he's growing on me. I think I like him now.
Marcelo,
Yeah.
yeah, me too.
I think he's gonna be the standout guy.
I know.
Just
I
kinda
actually have a
cast.
running theory that he's the Chris Kattan. I don't think he has a ton of range.
Really?
I think they've just kind of found a good lane
There's a
for him.
there's a rumor that him and Sabrina Carpenter are dating. Have you heard that?
I have, but I don't know how true it is. Yeah.
Okay.
I want to give him
Surprised
the
you heard that.
Pat Catan.
I follow the
Or-
SNL Reddit, Dennis, so I hear like everything.
Oh,
So
he's
do
an
you have another
insider.
current cast member that you like, Dennis?
I like Mikey Day, but he's kind of older.
So did
He's
you
the
just
old
say the
guy.
first name that came to mind?
Yeah.
I think that's how they, is that how they open up Saturday Night Live with Mikey Day? And that's this one's
Mike-
for anything Dennis.
Michael Che.
Dennis is
Mikey
a-
Day.
How about Keenan Thompson? Where does he rank? He's
No,
kind of like
bottom. It's just he needs to go.
Oh, I know.
Move
I
on.
agree. It's frustrating that he's still there, but he's still great, and he was great in the
Yeah.
Mac Attack one. All right. Well,
He's in a
speaking-
lot of good things though. So I think I'm all fucked up.
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay, because you were frozen for a bit. I my favorite character currently.
Do you have
I
like
like-
I,
I just
I
like-
know
I-
the yeah I know it front
I
to
like
back.
the
so-
weekend update. The weekend update or week.
the
What is it?
weekend. Owen likes the weekend.
Do you
Those
know
are his days.
that skit started from episode 1, and then they've been saying live from New York. It's Saturday night since episode 1.
Yeah, I did.
God,
And
there's some other fun facts that I.
It used to
learned
originally
this
be
morning.
called Saturday Night because somebody else
Mhm.
had the rights to Saturday Night Live. So that's why they
Interesting.
would say live from New York. It's Saturday night.
Oh,
Fun fact.
All right, I want to talk about another long ongoing saga. Owen, is your internet good?
I got my my computer's restarting in 10 minutes. It said. I restarted it beforehand, and then it says you can restart your computer now or at 6:45. It doesn't give me an option to change it. So maybe if I change my clock.
Okay.
Maybe.
All right. Well, I want to talk about another long running saga. Dennis, you
Mhm.
finished a book.
yeah.
How long did it take you to finish this book?
So here's the book.
Oh boy, it's in pieces. It's got
Oh,
dog ears.
That looks
it's got,
long.
It looks like it looks like he pulled it out of like a used
This-
bookstore.
It's missing the back cover of it.
How does that happen, dog?
That looks
'cause
like he
it's been
threw
every vacation, every trip I've gone on for the past 10 years, it's been in the bottom of my book bag. Like
yeah, it's
I'm
true.
reading this book, just been slammed in there every single time. And I finished it
What's the book?
today. It's Hyperion. It's like a hard sci-fi novel. It's kind of the Canterbury Tales, where like
Yes.
each person has their story and they all kind of tell it. It's like that. And there's like a bunch of short stories, but they're all on a journey together. Yeah, so I looked at when I bought this book, 2014.
Holy shit!
And I haven't read a book since. I've been reading this book for that long.
11 years. An 11-year journey you just got through.
I know.
Your own Canterbury Tales.
The
Oh my
funniest
God.
part is, and I didn't know this, and it's a cliffhanger, and the part 2 is the continuation of the story.
Even I knew that was I knew that was like a prequel or like
But I
a
thought it was like its own book. I didn't realize you had to read part 2. Like
All
they're
right.
they're making this journey to this place, and they finally get there, and the book ends, and they don't tell what's going to happen at this place. So
how was it? What do you rate it? What's your quick review of it?
some of the short stories are really cool. I think about them a lot. I don't know if I'm a
It's-
book guy.
It's multiple short stories. The whole
Yeah,
thing?
they are. It's like
It's
8
like
people.
chicken soup
telling-
for the.
They're
for
trying
the
to figure
soul.
out. There's a planet called Hyperion. They've all been called to, and they're trying to figure out
Yeah.
what they have in common with Hyperion. So they all
Mhm.
tell the story. Like I came
got
across
it.
Hyperion once. Like here, one story was about. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, I'm not that interested in it.
Yeah,
you can
we're-
just
I'm
stop.
not either. I was like, I get it.
Trying to remember the first. I was actually trying to remember the first story, and then I'm like, I read that probably in 2015. I couldn't-
Okay,
I'm
so-
I'm looking to read a book and finish it within the next 10 years. Do you recommend this one or do you
Yeah.
recommend a different
Good 10-year investment.
one? Yeah.
No. No.
Okay.
How bad did you just want to end it because you started it and you got too far
Bad.
into it?
Bad.
Yeah. Not bad
Because
enough.
I
but
have this
bad.
other book I want to read, and I'm like, I'm gonna do it in double time this time, 5 years. So
Then I'll defend you, Dennis, because
30.
I'm a book guy. I That, I'm not, but I actually have my theory ties into this. Like, you'll talk to a person and they'll be like, oh, I read 52 books last year. I'm like, how the fuck could you read 52 books last year? First of all, like, what kind of books are you reading that you can just like knock this out in a week? And I'm like, I'm more like a 15 to 10 book guy a year. And it's just because when I read a book, I'm not trying to like rush through it. Like, I want to like read 10, 15 pages, think about it for like a day, like really process it. Like, I don't read books that are just like, who did it? And then you're just trying to figure out who did it, Like, I'm trying to enjoy this like slice of life or journey or like understand. So I don't think
that was a brag.
It is.
You don't want to be okay. You don't want to be a guy that goes through all these books so quick, but you read 15. How many books a year?
Like 10 to 15. Yeah,
that's a lot of books, Kevin.
I know. I do.
Yeah,
I'm bragging. I'm bragging for sure.
Okay.
I'm actually saying I'm better than the people who read more books, because I think they're reading books that are like 7th grade level, and they're just like fighting through them and just like trying to get to the end just to see what happened.
Yeah, see what's going on with Soda Pop and Pony Boy.
Yeah, exactly. No, like I want to, like when I read a book, like I want to take my time and do a lot of reflection on it. Like I don't, and I'm not saying I'm taking notes, but like during the workday, I'm thinking about that last chapter I read, and I think that's more interesting to me. So, Dennis, you've been really reflecting on Hyperion.
I have. I mean, every trip, I'm like, I'm going to read this book, and I kind of think about it. I've listened to the audiobook in parts.
You've tried it all.
I've read it.
Yeah, you are like
I've gone back and read like Spark Notes on chapters because I'm like, I can't completely forget what happened here.
Oh, damn. So you may have read this book more in depth than anyone I know then.
I've definitely probably thought about it more than maybe not as much as the artist. Or not the artist. The writer?
Author.
Yeah, author. I don't know books.
Definitely not a book guy. Owen, wait, do you think you've read more or less than Dennis knowing this?
Oh, way less. Dude, he finished a book in the last 10 years. I've listened to some audiobooks.
But have you compiled enough snippets of reading that you've topped his 550-page book?
Oh, that's a big book. That looked like a long book. I don't think that I've gotten there.
Yeah, and it's
I literally don't read. I honestly think the last book I read from front to back was A River Runs Through It, junior year of high school. And since then, I'm not well read.
Let's hear it. What's your review?
I don't know if oh, I really love that book. That's a good book.
Why not read more?
Because it was so much.
Now he's like basically. No, this is
because I don't have study hall anymore. That was the only time I read was at study hall.
I don't know what A River Runs Through It is about, but I would argue this book has had more impact than any book in anybody's life because Owen loves fucking rivers. He loves fly fishing and shit.
Well, it's a fly fishing book. So.
Is it?
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So this movie, like I would argue, like when you jump into a book, it can arguably become your life. So
Owen, what if you read like some gambling, like a poker book, and you would have been really into poker like 15 years later?
No, OAR didn't turn me onto it, so I figured you're right. Maybe
so I would argue, you had the largest impact from a book out of any of us. So congrats.
But here's the thing: I didn't hate fly fishing. I always was more into. I didn't like the idea of fly fishing up until very recently. I don't know.
Now you love it because you went to see. You went to like what me and George were describing yesterday. We were talking about it because we were confused. A fly fishing network event or like we're like, why is he at this thing? It's indoors.
It was like an expo. It's just they have a bunch of different
stuff.
I bought a net and I got a free dry bag out of it, so you get good deals. I mainly went there because I really need some waders, and there was no one that was selling waders. And then they have different seminars that teach you different casting and how to catch different types of fish. Different fish that I like. One of the things that I sat through was small streams, small rods.
Oh, sorry guys, Dennis fell asleep.
And I was looking around the room. I was the youngest person in the room by 20 or 30 years in the one seminar, and I couldn't get through them. Imagine a guy that is an outdoorsman that likes fly fishing has to put together a PowerPoint. Imagine what that PowerPoint actually looks like. There's a lot of exclamation marks on this one guy's thing, and it's just 4 bullet points, blue and white top, gray bottom, and that was it.
Who was
but
this guy? What was his credentials?
There's so many. I don't know. I don't know any of their credentials. I think they go around to all of these expos. They're all retired except some people that put on they'll hire, or it's their job, and they take people out on different fly fishing trips. So like one of the guys that I sat through, he was this like intense bro that goes steelhead fishing. And I think that he sat through like self-help seminars, like that Andy Elliott guy.
Yeah.
So he's basically a motivational speaker for steelhead fishing. And he's like, are you going to be the guy that's at work or at home sitting around not hitting the water every day? I'm like, yeah, dude, this is everyone's fucking pastime. This isn't their life. It's like, or are you going to wait for those 5 days that come around and you're going to go out, or are you going to hit the river every single day to better your chances? I was like, what? Who the fuck?
What is he, closing deals?
That's what I was like, what is this guy's like goal out of this? I think
that's the fatal flaw.
Some things.
Does this guy actually, does he want all fish dead? And this is like,
it's catch and release. It's all catch and release that this guy does, and it's steelhead, which are big trout. So
this is
winter time is the time for it.
This is just the culmination of somebody who loves fly fishing, but they want to make a career out of it. And you learn slowly, in order to make a career out of something, you can't actually do it. You need to sell the product. So this guy probably spends more time doing PowerPoints now than he does actually fly fishing. It's just
I think capitalism. Yeah, he's going to seminars on like, how do I sell more people? And little does he know is that people aren't trying to make fly fishing their hobby. So I don't know what their job, just their hobby.
Is there a like what would be the point of going out every day and doing it?
That's what I was like, dude, is there a
competition you can go to?
Catch fish. It's someone's hobby and you want to catch a big,
and you don't eat it, you just throw it back.
It's an Instagram post, Dennis. It's an Instagram post for likes. It's at the end of the day.
Get it.
I'd be so bored out there.
No, it's not just that. You guys don't get it. It's very fun. I really want to go steelhead fishing, but it's way too much of a commitment.
Do you have to touch the fish?
Yes, of course.
Yeah,
which is like the best part. You got that big fish.
Yeah, but it can cut you, they say.
All right, Dennis, I want to hear about real entertainment. As a father of 3, it seems like you're finding yourself going to different types of events and festivals that you normally wouldn't go to. Like, for example, pumpkin picking. What was that last thing you talked about? Pumpkin patching.
Picking. Pumpkin
apple
patching.
Picking.
Apple picking. That's what it was. Yeah. Other events like that. And the most recent one, you went to the Monster Jam. What is that?
Monster. So it was at the arena where they play basketball, Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse.
Oh, I thought it was a graveyard smash.
The Monster Mash.
No. Monster Jam.
I've got those two confused.
Monster Jam.
Wait, can I tangent really quick? I took an improv class when I was in New York City. Did like 12 lessons with this group of people. At the end of it, you have to do a performance for people. And so when finally came the day of our performance, and we were performing for like 6 to 12 people in this stands. And at one point, I referenced Monster Mash during my improv set with this group. And it still haunts me to this day because the person in the group didn't know what I was talking about. And like they were like trying to like
Monster Mash?
I know, it still blows my mind. I think about it once a week because I'm like, how did this I kept saying, I said something about Monster Mash and I was like, it's a graveyard smash. And they're like kind of like trying to be improvisational. And they're like, huh? What are you talking about? I'm like, the graveyard smash.
Dude, that's not your fault, Kevin. That's their fault.
That is, yeah. I don't know how. It was like a 60-year-old guy, but even they should know it more.
Even more. That guy should definitely know. That was like hot when he was born.
He's like making out with a chick, and he's like, put on Monster Mash in the car.
I'm telling you, I lose sleep over this one wrong improv move.
I'm gonna monster mash those lips, girl.
Okay, Dennis, what's Monster Jam? You went to it. Go.
So Monster Jam has monster trucks, and they're inside the arena. So imagine a basketball court, and now imagine it's covered in dirt. And
Not that big, right? Kind of a smaller surface area than you'd
small.
expect.
So then there's these monster trucks that are in there, and you're like, what the fuck are they gonna do in here? And then they come out, and then you realize they're like miniature. They're not like a full on monster truck. They're like almost like a
Go-kart almost.
Yeah, a little bigger than a go-kart. You couldn't fit two people side by side in it.
This is
It's
blowing
like
my mind
way
though,
less
because
than
the
a-
whole appeal of a
No.
monster truck thing would be the giant ass trucks.
The
They're
monster
tall.
trucks.
They're tall, but they're not wide.
Okay.
So this
Hold
is
on.
my second time to Monster Jam. I've been to the one at the Brown Stadium. Different trucks there.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That I was gonna say, because I've seen one of these monster trucks up close and personal at the old Giant Eagle in Strongsville a long time ago. They had the one that looked like a bull with the bull ring.
Oh, El Toro.
They had that parked outside, and it's like the body
You
of
guys
it
know El
isn't
Toro, but you
so-
couldn't name an SNL cast member.
it's so
It just was a
isn't
Monster
so
Jam.
it isn't so big, but it was super tall, humongous wheels. So these wheels, how are you taller than the wheels if you're standing next to them?
I
at
would
this
say
Monster
that
Jam?
your head is near the top of the wheel.
Okay, still big, but
Yeah, they're still
not
big.
as big. Okay.
Funny enough, every once in a while, I'll go to the grocery store and I'll end up parked next to a monster truck. Granted, I'm here in Ohio, like where it's not like the flattest, but it's also not like I'm like, this person really needs a monster truck to be getting their groceries to their duplex or their
But they're not
little
actual,
townhome.
not actual sponsored monster trucks, just
It was
homemade
next to
monster
Great-
trucks.
Great
Yeah, just-
digger.
One of those trucks with like the wheels that are this 6 feet tall, and you're
Yeah.
like, yeah, they need this monster truck for their grocery runs. Got it. Okay, but these weren't even those, Dennis. These are
No, they're all like all branded. So there's like a zombie one. There's Grave Digger.
Yeah.
Yeah, El Toro Loco. What else? There's like a woman's one. Forget the
Good.
name.
oh, so now DEI is hitting monster trucks.
Yeah. There's a unicorn one, but that one wasn't there.
Oh, I was
Oh,
just
that's
gonna
got to
say,
be
look
the
at
Pride
this.
one.
What is that?
This is the unicorn one.
I
Oh, let's
can't
hold up
see.
his phone to the screen. Oh, got it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that one wasn't there though.
yeah, those are kind of cool.
Yeah. So basically, it's a competition. It's almost like WWE. It's a competition, but they're doing this every night basically. So they do one where they just do one lap around, so you can do it the fastest. One where they have to do like a wheelie, who can do the best wheelie, and then one where it's like freestyle, where they just are trying to do like big jumps and stuff. But there's a lot of people there that I think it's like a real sport, the way that they're acting to it and react. And these are adults, not the little kids.
No, there's a motorsport niche that I've never really quite understood. I mean, NASCAR is huge, F1's huge, and those are complete opposite ends of the spectrum. But there's people that like all those, and then
Yeah.
stock cars and
Imagine someone that's drinking. You ever see the Monster energy cans that are so big and they have the twist off?
I've drank one of
Oh,
those
yeah.
once or twice. Yeah,
They're so big that you're not even going to finish it at the time. You're
yeah,
gonna be
it's
drinking
so big
all
that
day.
it has a tab that'll close it up again.
Yeah.
because this is going
Someone
to be
that's
a big
drinking
one.
that every day. One of those
Jesus.
is loves Monster Jam. But the other thing too is, so I brought my kids like earmuffs because it's so loud there, and I didn't bring earmuffs. And what they do is, since everyone's wearing earmuffs, they have to have the audio on super loud. So all the music, all the announcing, everything is just so fucking loud the entire time. And then my kids are like all hopped up on sugar, and I'm like, this is like overstimulation station here. And we left before it ended. I'm like, I'm over this. I can't stand it anymore.
they
Did
sad?
your kids like it or no?
They liked it for like an hour, and then they
Yeah.
were like, I
What about
spent
the-
$100 on fucking cotton candy and slushies.
Yeah. What about the fumes? Were those bad? That's what I'd always feel like. I'd get a headache from all the gas.
No, I didn't
And
smell any
exhaust.
fumes.
Oh, interesting. The
No.
electric now?
I don't know.
Elon Musk has his fingers in here
Maybe.
in Monster Jam.
Oh, and you said, or no, Dennis, you said it's kind of like wrestling. Oh, and you had something about Hulk Hogan, right?
Oh, wait, we already talked. That was the fly fishing guy.
Oh,
He
he was
talked
like Hulk Hogan.
too. Yeah, a raspy voice and very powerful.
Did he say like brother? Like you're gonna make
He
this
may
a
have
living,
let
brother.
one. He may have let one slip out.
Okay. Trying to think what else we have to talk about. I have one quick spiel for you guys. Did you know I was down a Wikipedia wormhole this weekend, and did you guys know Justin Tucker, the Baltimore Ravens kicker?
Yeah.
He is not only a professional kicker in the NFL, he's also a trained opera singer. That's what he got his degree for.
Is this like a bit?
Yeah, isn't that interesting? This guy's like multi-talented.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else about him recently? Why were you on his Wikipedia page?
Oh, that's right. That's right. I was blown away.
Were there 2 letters there, S and A?
No, apparently I slowly kept going through his history, and I guess like he has some injury history because he dealt with a lot of like physical massage therapists. So it seems like he was a little injury prone. And on top of that, it sounds like he would also leave cum on the table when he was done. It's disgusting.
That is disgusting.
What?
Sorry, I don't have much else to say. I thought it blows my mind that there's a person like this exists. Like, how does this happen?
Dude, I think there is a lot of fucking weird guys, and I genuinely believe that we are not close to these types of people. But there's a weird genre of guys that do shit like this, and
I think they've been invincible. They've never had someone comment on like a funny video and go like, "These 3 guys."
That is true. That is true.
I don't even think that's the problem. I think that they're just oblivious too of like repercussions for anything and other people's feelings, and I think it's crazy.
No, because this Justin Tucker one, I guess, just stood out to me because like he's
Really good opera singer, actually.
Yeah, no, he's a really good. Apparently, he was a really good soccer player. Then they brought him over to football. He was a really good football player.
Was he really an opera singer?
Yeah. Then he gets to college. Now all of a sudden, he started as a communications major, and then somebody I guess heard him sing or something. I'm just filling in blanks. But all of a sudden, then he switches to music, and now he's like a trained like opera singer who's like
Then
being asked to perform at like the Baltimore Opera. So it's like this guy, everything he's done is right. Guy opens his mouth
and then he saw a table and he's like, you know what, that thing's
yeah, exactly. Then he gets a massage. He probably doesn't even know that. Like, he probably think that's just his girlfriend in the freaking thing.
He's probably getting a massage and he's like, oh, yeah. How do you sing opera? I don't even know.
We got it. Yeah.
No. Okay, sorry. George, you want more singing? You got it. I don't know. I'm just workshopping a bit at Justin Tucker, but
I do love that this guy had a horrible season this year. Something was coming. He knew something was coming.
Oh, that's
and it
probably
wasn't
true.
him no more.
Wait, we should go back to children now, because and you had asked us about punishing children.
Yeah, I was very curious as to what I think the way that we've gotten punished. Every generation gets punished a little bit less, or they're not as severe. So, like, their parents probably could get beaten a little bit, and no one would bat an eye. You spank a kid now, like that, you're a bad person. And we're trying to figure out how to not punish the kids, but like take stuff away because they're doing stuff that annoys the other one. Yeah, and they're just the lamest things that they get grounded for. I'm like, this isn't even a big fucking deal.
I know, it doesn't feel like a punishment. It's like I've seen it, and it's like, hey, like, no more phone. Get on your iPad now.
That's like, literally what it is. Yeah. Buddy's first thing. So I've put down a list of items that we take away one by one. If they're worse, then they get the next item taken away. So Jack first gets his phone taken away, but he still has all of his video games, all electronics. He could do everything else. And then after that, he gets his video games. And then it's all electronics. Buddy gets, he flips a shit if he ever loses. They're really good kids, so they don't get in that much trouble. But if we ever take away something, if I take away his iPad, he freaks out. And I'm like, dude, you have a TV, a smart TV that does every single thing that your iPad does, but it's a bigger screen, so it's even better. So I don't know.
You're nicer than me. I I just take it away, and my kids know now. Like they used to flip out, and I just take it away. Like I banned YouTube in our house because they're fucking. Freddie was watching 15 seconds at a time, and the next video, I'm like, dude, you cannot watch YouTube anymore. This is done. It's banned.
Yeah.
How did he react?
How's Lisa taking it? Is she having a hard time with no
Oh
YouTube?
no, Lisa's on my side. Oh yeah, sometimes like I'm going out of town the next few days. I bet the iPads are going to be out, but it's okay. You got to survive sometimes by yourself.
I get
But
that.
my
yeah.
kids
Let's say
also are.
you banned Lisa from it as well, didn't you? That's what you said to the whole household.
My kids also are a lot younger, so it's probably easier because they kind of forget about it after a little bit. They're not like, all their friends aren't using it. They don't even know. So
I will defend. I know I can't really speak on this because I'm not a parent, so whatever. But I mean, it is. Here's the truth. Like, here's the way I see it in my head. Like, we weren't beaten as kids, or at least, very lightly. Like, that was our generation. Like, hard threats, loud voices, not a lot of physical contact. But now, look at us. We're comfortable talking shit about everybody we want on the internet. Like, these...
but never in person.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. Like, we maybe needed some ass kickings in our life to kind of remind us that, like, there are consequences for the things you say and do. Like, I feel so, like, because nobody's beating my ass, so I'm going to keep talking. I'm going to keep yapping.
No, the people that are being mean to us need to get their asses kicked.
That's probably true, too.
It is funny because some of the things my kids, like, say to me, I'm like, there's no way I ever said this to my parents.
I believe that.
Yeah,
I honestly believe that.
Them, and they're like, no, you're going to go in your room right now. And I'm like, who's the adult here? I am.
Yeah.
You're in your room. And they're like, no, you are. And I'm like, get in your room. And then I'm like arguing with them. And I'm like second guessing myself to be like, should I be in my room?
At some point, it does just come down to, like, these kids need to be shaken a little bit, or they need to, like, remember, like, I'm big man. You're little guy. It's a tough one.
I go very extreme, and I get that from, like, my dad. It's like, you do something, it's like immediate, you're in trouble. Like, no more of this, end of story. And then Sarah's been very good at like dialing me back, where she's like, what do you mean? Like, it's not that serious. Calm down. Like,
that's exactly how me and Lee.
I'm like, no, they fucking get it taken away.
They're like fucking, they can sit there and they're like beating the shit out of each other. And Lisa's just like chilling. I'm like, my blood is boiling.
Yeah.
And she could just be like, oh, whatever. They're boys. And I'm like, no, you go up in your room. You're over here, and like try to separate them. And then it's like an overreaction. And then I look like the bad guy and whatever.
Yeah, dude, I get it. I'm always looking like the bad guy. It's the worst when it's in front of the boys, where Sarah will be like, what do you mean they have to do this? I'm like, look, don't say that in front of them.
Yeah,
then they just are going to question me the whole time. I was like, we have to do this.
But then I think about it. I was so, like, when I did something bad at school or had like a bad grade, I was only scared when my dad came home.
Oh, yeah, me too.
So there has to be a bad guy, right?
Yeah,
that is
very true.
Yeah.
Yeah, good cop, bad cop exists for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was terrified of my dad. I don't know about you guys, but my dad scared the shit out of me when I was a little kid.
Well, tell me who this is. I always have like a recurring memory. I got a detention. I got a detention for throwing a snowball after school in like 7th or 6th grade or 8th grade.
Ooh, I feel like I remember that.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, no, you remember, Owen, when the gym teacher told me to grab the balls?
I do remember that one.
Mrs. Wolf?
Did you have to run laps or something?
No, the gym teacher told me to. Well, this ties into the other one because I had recently gotten another detention. But yeah, so the gym teacher said everybody grab their balls, and I grabbed my nutsack. And I had just recently got a detention, and she was about to give me another one, and I saw I started crying or like doing something to pussy my way out of it, and she made me write like a book report instead. So I didn't have to tell my parents that I got a detention. But
ever since then, Kevin's been reading books. It all comes full circle.
So true. So I got a detention for throwing a snowball, and my parents were obviously pissed. And now that I think about it, my dad was certainly the more pissed about it. And he, on top of the detention, he also made me write a handwritten apology note to the teacher that had given me the detention. And this is how this is my therapy. It's all avoidance. I held that note in my book bag for like 6 months before I finally gave it to the teacher.
You actually gave it to her?
Yeah, because I was so embarrassed and scared to give it to the teacher. 'Cause it was just like the intention thing was obviously embarrassing, but the more embarrassing thing was like this lady didn't care. I don't know. Like
She's
now I
like,
have
what
to-
is this for?
exactly. And so like I delayed and I delayed and I delayed. And then finally, like 4 months or 6 months after this thing happened, I actually had to like hand her this note because my dad like finally found out I didn't give it to her or something. I don't know. But that's just my life. In
Did
a
you throw the
nutshell.
snowball at her?
No, she's the one who caught me. So I don't even know what I was apologizing for.
Oh, think about it as an adult. Like, why would you give a fuck about that now?
I guess it's just you got to make an example of the alpha.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so different. So like Jack, if Jack has ever gotten in trouble at school, Sarah's 100% has Jack's back and like
Oh,
I don't think
tears
that's
down.
good. Yeah.
No, it's definitely good. It's definitely good because these teachers, they're ridiculous. So she's like, will go into she'll have meetings with the principal, meetings with the teacher,
Wow.
and go over because they are ridiculous the way that they're like what they say Jack is
well, it's
doing
it's
wrong. So
at least as a teacher, and like, there's some parents that are like, okay, your kid's an asshole. Like, I
Mhm.
mean, I'm not saying this is that situation, but there's parents that are always like backing their kids back up,
Right.
and you're like, no, there's obviously some other thing going on here, but there are like, and there's other situations, like there's one at our school right now where there's this not in Freddie's class, but this other teacher, like there was kids in Freddie's class last year that were like perfect kids, and now they're having issues because of the teacher. So
let
there
me
could
phrase
be-
let me phrase it this way, Dennis. Like, Owen, like in my situation, you have two parents. Like, I threw a snowball. Like, nobody got hurt. I threw it at a bus or something. But like, so you could obviously defend, like, he's a kid. He threw a snowball. Like, why are you punishing him? But at the same time, there was definitely a rule that said no throwing snowballs, and I broke the rule. So it's just like, it's kind of like lawyering.
right, I guess if it makes sense that he'd be in trouble, Sarah would definitely be for it. But when it doesn't make sense, and
well, I imagine there's some wacky,
way more new. Yeah, there's way more
there's some
nuance
wacky
to
rules
this.
out there.
Absolutely,
Yeah, especially
So-
in the Northwest. I bet there's some really weird rules, pronoun
Yes,
related.
But we'll put it this way: us growing up, if I was in trouble at school, I was in trouble at home too for it, and they believe what the teachers said about me, and they're like, "Those are the rules. You're in trouble. You got a detention. You're grounded now too." So
Your mom also
and
worked
that's-
there, so
that
she
is
like
true,
knew
yeah.
everyone.
yeah. Well, Danny ruined it for me. For my older brother was a nightmare, and I was a really good kid for the most part. So he was always in trouble. So I don't know. Maybe my parents got stricter.
All right, we have two more. I have two topics for you guys to choose from. They're both flower related. Okay, White Lotus season 3, which I have not watched yet, but
Neither
I
have I,
would be
but-
curious to hear Owen's quick
Is it
review
good?
of it. Or okay, yeah, and then I'll finish it off with our second flower related topic. Owen, so are you excited after watching the first episode? Don't give us. I don't want to know much.
Yeah, Walter Goggins, he's in it.
Goggle
so-
glasses.
Yeah, so that's
gotta buy those.
exciting. I think that the cast that they have is pretty good. Arnold Schwarzenegger's kid is one of the main roles, which I didn't know that was him, Patrick Schwarzenegger.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Who does he play? T1000.
Yeah, he plays
He
Total
actually
Recall.
drives a monster truck on the
Yeah, does he?
island. Yeah.
Oh
They
wow!
have
so-
the theme song. The theme song's my favorite. Is it
So
bad?
that was one of my big topics. Is they don't have the same theme song this year.
Megan
And
just said
I
the
was,
same thing, Owen.
I was under the impression that it's the same theme song season 1, season 2, but I guess they weren't the exact same.
No, it's like a
So-
cover, but that's what I like about it. It's like a remix.
This one
of it.
is
I
not
guess.
the same. It's different.
It's not like The Wire. You know how The Wire did
No.
like the same version of
Yeah.
the. I think Dennis. I think they probably lost the rights to that theme song or something, so they
Yes,
like,
What?
can't
right?
use
That's
it
the whole
anymore.
reason I watched the show. I love that song.
I think that's the reason why a lot of people watch the show. That would show.
Yeah.
And this is
supposedly
what I learned
DJs
about
were
the industry
playing it.
recently. Because so many people love that song, the person who licenses out that music probably had so much buying power that they could be like, look, nobody fucking likes your show. They just like the song. Give us $45 million for it.
No,
Are you sure?
that's where
Because
you're
I remember
wrong, because
hearing
the
the
show
song-
is amazing.
I remember
Okay,
hearing
alright.
the song in the trailer.
I I'm
Owen watched
100%
it, Dennis.
certain.
He's right. I'm gonna give him the
It's
win
not
here.
it's not the song. It's a completely different song.
It's not
but
this
it's
at
still
all?
it has like a dude.
A
It's
lot of
not the
singing in
fucking
this pod.
song, Dennis. It's not it.
Oh, Owen,
It
what
has-
else
still
did you think
has
about
some,
the
It has
episode?
some jungle vibes to the music. I'm gonna fucking kill you.
All right, I'll check it
It
out.
is.
I'll give
it
you
is-
my real opinion on this, Owen.
It is slower, so it's slower. I
Oh, but
like
it is it. It's just a
No,
slower version
it's
of it.
not it. It's a slower song, but
Is it
not
more like this?
song.
Bonjour, je suis le grand musique.
Je suis la jeune fille.
What is this for? Like in the middle of it?
Yeah, in the middle, we're just gonna put it in there like, "Hey, thanks for listening. Don't forget."
We're not talking like that.
Okay.
I refuse to make it sound like a commercial.
Yeah.
You just got to tell everyone that they need to follow us on social media at Pick Freaks on TikTok and Instagram, and to give us 5-star rating. You can roast us, but don't give us less than 5 stars.
Yeah.
That's all we have to say.
So just say that.
Is there
Kevin,
any?
go.
Yeah, if you're
Just
listening
cut what I
now,
said and put it on there. Who cares?
Muzzy now comes with 4 videos, 2 audios, a script book, parent's guide, a new exciting CD-ROM, plus this free bonus with your paid order.